Ladies and gentlemen, Daciao. My name is Thomas Prinz. I'm the Director General of the German Institute Taipei. It is my pleasure to participate in the 2020 International Climate Finance Forum organized by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and the Taiwan Research Institute. Climate finance is important in order to reach the goals we have agreed upon in the Kyoto Protocol and the Paris Agreement. The UK has put that on the agenda for COP26, and at the same time the EU is planning to revive the economy after COVID-19 crisis through green policies. By financing climate action, we can reach two important goals: helping to save our planet and helping to overcome the negative impact of COVID-19 to the world economy. Germany has been among the more ambitious providers of financial assistance to developing countries' efforts to adapt to changing climate and cut or avoid greenhouse gas emissions. Germany was the first country to pledge to the Green Climate Fund, both for the initial capitalization in 2014 as well as for the first formal replenishment of the fund in 2019. Back in 2015, a year before the adoption of the Paris Agreement, German Chancellor Angela Merkel promised to double German climate finance, aiming for around 4 billion euros in budgetary allocations in 2020. Well, in fact, we reached 4.3 billion euros already in 2019. Germany has introduced some innovative measures to deal with climate change also back home in Germany. We call it the Climate Action Program 2030. By putting a price on climate-damaging CO2 emissions, introducing promotion measures, and setting legal standards for greater innovation and investment, we intend to achieve the climate targets Germany has set for 2030. Greenhouse gas emissions are to be cut by 55% to the 1990 level. Climate-friendly actions will be rewarded, harmful actions will become more costly. One thing has to be clear: climate change mitigation has a price tag. Pivotal to the Climate Action Program is the decision to put a price on CO2 emissions in the transport and the heating sectors as of 2021. As is already the case for the energy sector and the energy-intensive industry, within the framework of the European Emissions Trading Scheme, a price is to be put on CO2 emissions caused by the building sector and the traffic and transport. Experts agree that this is the most economically cost-effective way to reduce emissions and achieve our climate targets. The German government is to reinvest the revenues generated from CO2 pricing in climate change mitigation measures or pass it on to citizens in the form of financial assistance and promotion measures. The national emissions trading system will be launched in a couple of weeks. A fixed price per ton CO2 will be specified in advance. Certificates will be sold to companies selling heating fuel and fuel for vehicles. The costs of the certificates will then be carried by the fuel trade. When a company sells heating oil, liquefied petroleum gas, natural gas, coal, petroleum or diesel, it will need one certificate for every ton CO2 emitted by the products they sell. The fixed price will initially be 10 euros per ton CO2 and will rise to 35 euros per ton by 2025. We will help our citizens to adopt to the new measures. The costs of refurbishing buildings, for instance, to make them more energy efficient, will be tax deductible. The program also provides for high levels of subsidies, up to 40%, to encourage people to replace old oil central heatings with new, more environmentally friendly systems. In the medium term, the German government will reduce electricity prices as a counterweight to the new CO2 pricing. The principle is the more the revenue from the CO2 pricing rises, the lower the electricity prices will be. New about this plan is that the reduction goals for every sector, transport, housing, industry, agriculture, energy, have been translated into law. The German government will precisely identify progress each year and will have the support of a council of experts. The Climate Cabinet will examine once a year how effective the measures are and how they are achieving their goals. If one sector is failing to meet the targets, the responsible ministry must produce an energy adjustment program within 3 months. On this basis, the Climate Cabinet will adjust the Climate Action Program 2030 to ensure that the climates are met. Ladies and gentlemen, the German government is introducing an ambitious plan, and I would be grateful to have the chance next year to talk about the start of our national CO2 trading scheme and our experience with it. Thank you very much for your attention and have a great Climate Finance Forum 2020.